Morning Alpha Valley. So this week, year 1 and 2, you've been set some work on My Maths looking at multiplication using repeated addition. So if you go to mymaths.co.uk and on the right hand side go to the login, and when you go to the login, your first login is the first password and username that's on your sheet. So for everybody in the school, the username is Alva, and then you will see the password on your sheet. So once I've logged in, you will come up with this screen here, and down the left hand side you can choose which domains you would like to go into. So for example, if I wanted to go into number, and I wanted to go into number and place value, I could do counting, which is based and aimed at year 1, and I can go on and do an online lesson on there, and I can have a look at different activities on there. The other alternative is I can do online homework, so it doesn't have to be homework that your teacher has set for you. If you go onto the online homework there, and I can type in my username and password. So this is the second username and password that you have got on your sheet. So I'm just going to type one in that I've got on here. There we go. So it will have 3 numbers, and then you will have your password to go with that. So once you've logged in, any work that you now do will then be sent through to your teachers, so they'll be able to see what else you've achieved if you want to do that. So if you go onto my portal login here and again type in your password and your username, the second one that's on the sheet, this will take you to your online portal, so you will be able to see what work your teacher has set for you. So along the top you've got different tabs, so it will show your homework, it will have any games. Just be aware that a lot of these games are actually still aimed at Key Stage 2. It will show you any scores of any completed homework that you've done, and it will give you things that you can practice on. So if you're in year 1, for example, and you go to the year 1 section here, there's loads of different things that you can go on and practice if you want to. So year 1 and 2, when you log in, your homework should look something like this. So we're going to be looking at multiplication, focusing on repeated addition. So the first question is, how many eyes are there? Try to count in your 2. So of course we could do our counting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So you would type in the answer 14 and then you could carry on going. However, if you want to give yourself a bit of a challenge like we do in class, we can look at presenting it in different ways, because this gives us a much deeper understanding of things. So what I've done is I've taken this problem here and I've drawn it out into a bar model here. Okay, so I've got my 7 groups here. So I've got 1 group of 2, 2 groups of 2, 3 groups of 2, 4 groups of 2, 5 groups of 2, 6 groups of 2, and 7 groups of 2, which again shows me my 14, but it's just a different way of showing the problem. Another way that you can show it is using your arrays. So I could set out my groups of 2 underneath each other like this. It's just a more organised way of doing it for when we're doing our calculations, and then show my addition sentence to go with it here. If you're in year 2, your challenge would be looking at writing the multiplication question to go with it as well, then a multiplication sentence. It would be 7 times 2, because that's 7 groups of 2. A different way you can set up the array is like this. So drawing the group a different way. So we've got 1 group of 7 and 2 groups of 7. So our repeated addition for year 1 is 7 adds 7. And then if you're going into year 2, it would be 2 times 7. And the final way we're going to look at today is using a number line. So in class we would have what we call a structured number line, so it'd be a number line that's already drawn for you. Unfortunately I don't have that luxury here, and neither do you guys. So I've got my number line here which I've drawn out for us. So I've started on my 0 and I've added that pair of eyes, those 2 eyes. So I've added 2. So I've got 2, I've added it again, and as you can see, I've carried on going until I've got my 7 groups of 2.